By the looks of it, he could be the best player in our history, Alex Ferguson once said about Phil Jones. The coach was in a great mood. It was May 2013, Manchester United had just won their 20th league title and Alex was about to retire. Jones was young then, he was 21 at the time of that very remark. But Fergie didn't relent, he's going to be a phenomenal player. He can play anywhere. He has a huge influence because of his game-reading skills and his instincts. He has drive. 10 years on from that moment, Jones left Man United as a free agent and clearly not in the status of the best player in history. 11 years later, finished his career after a year out of contract. So what went wrong for Phil Jones? On May 14, 2011, the unexpected happened. Modest Blackburn Rovers stopped Manchester United 1-1. The same United who, in the last fortnight, easily reached the Champions League final and then dealt with Chelsea in the Premier League. And the same United that 6 months ago demolished the same Blackburn 7-1. Not the least role in the progress of the team played 19-year-old Phil Jones. The guy was experimented with, initially entrusting him with the support zone, just in the match where they got 7 goals from the Red Devils, and then put in the center of the defense. It worked. Manchester failed, scoring the only goal only from a penalty. Young defender Blackburn immediately impressed Fergie. Jones did not have a tall height, but excellent jumping, had a powerful physical form, but most importantly, brilliantly read the game. Phil calculated the trajectory of the ball perfectly, was always in the right position, and then used strength and courage, and saved the situation. Very soon in Blackburn flew the offer of almost €20 million, and after just about a month and a half the Englishman has already put on the shirt of Manchester United. Time to rock Jones did not get, debuted in August, replacing Ferdinand in the second half of the FA Super Cup against City, with the score 0-2. Red Devils then got back and won. The next one was better. Jones instantly broke into the base, and not limited to one position. Fergie trusted him not only the center of defense, but also the right wing. And Phil was not lost and gave 2 goal assists to Wayne Rooney during the season. The defender did not fade further. He played in the Champions League, won trophies with the Devils and got into the England national team. It seemed like a great career ahead, which is also why Ferguson said what he said in 2013. But no one took into account the injuries. They were the ones that sentenced Jones. Jones came to United already injured. Playing for Blackburn Rovers, he damaged his meniscus. But at the time no one could have imagined what it would mean, 1,000 days on sick leave. To understand how bad it all turned out in the end, for Manchester, Jones played 229 matches. And did not play because of injuries 205, that is almost as much as he ran. Phil spent almost 3 years of his career recovering. Jones turned out to be an incredibly injury-prone and unlucky bloke. There was hardly a single whole area left in his body. The Englishman received concussions, injured his back and shoulders, strained tendons and cruciate ligaments, broke fingers, earned a sprained ankle and much, much more. In total, Phil Jones has about 40 entries in his medical history, probably a record. Of course, no one in the brutal football community felt sorry for him. Phil was trolled for his crustiness, and on top of that, also for his face. Jones does have a peculiar, quite funny facial expression, which gave a lot of funny photos to fans, but altogether it led to a natural bullying. The Englishman has been trampled on by everyone. When Man United announced he had signed a 4-year contract in 2019, social media exploded with thousands of negative comments. Waste of time, who would say that? And that was said in 2021 by Rio Ferdinand, the same man whose substitution once kickstarted Jones' United career. In 2017, Phil left social media, tired of reading nasty things about himself. But even this did not save. The defender was approached right on the streets and expressed everything that they think. Once it happened right in front of children, Jones said that in those days he went through hell and back. Listening to the insults, the Englishman in parallel painfully treated. And he wanted to play incredibly, so much so that on the eve of a friendly game with Germany in 2017, he gave himself 6 injections of painkillers. It was routine and ordinary, and it was the only thing that didn't end it. I did everything I could, from pills to diet. I even set up my house so that I always had an ice maker and special therapeutic shoes on hand after a workout. No one can say I didn't do enough, Jones later excused himself. In 2023, after 4 seasons of almost no games, it was clear that his contract would not be renewed. Erik ten Hag said he only saw Jones in practice for 20 minutes, then he got hurt again. In general, the end of his career came, and it ended ignominiously. For a long time Phil was England's most hated, despised, and ridiculed footballer. His face became an international meme, Ferguson's phrase about the greatest player a curse. But the more Jones told about himself and what he had to endure, the more loyal to him the public Thus, a particularly dramatic story was told in The Athletic. According to the publication, when Phil Jones at Man United was offered to play a game in his honor, there is such a tradition for players who played 10 seasons for the Devils, he resolutely refused. When asked why, he replied sadly, "Who will come to this game? My parents?" Phil was treated even warmer after his open letter, which he released when United announced his departure. "I wish I had played more. I wish I could have given more to the team. I will say from the bottom of my heart, I did everything I could. I did everything the medical team asked me to do." The English public did take kindly to the letter. People realized that in reality Ferguson's expectations were his problems and no one is immune to injury, especially as Jones did his best to avoid them. That said, Phil remained a good defender in the episodes he played. This was recognized by many gurus, including Gareth Southgate, who called Jones the best in the country when he called him up for the World Cup in Russia. When Jones left United, club television showed Ferguson's touching address to Jones. "Hi Phil, it's the old boss. I just wanted to thank you for the excellent service you have given to our club over the 12 years since I signed you from Blackburn. You have done the club a fantastic service. I wish you the best of luck and thank you for all your great work for the club. All the best." It's been over a year since he left Manchester United. All this time Phil has been without a club. However, he wasn't really looking for one. Instead, Jones was getting his coaching and management licenses. The main club in his life gave him practice. The ex-defender was given to work with the Devils' youth teams as an assistant to Adam Lawrence, the U18 coach. The youth coach is thrilled. "He's been great for us. Phil is from the club, he's our background. There's a lot the players can learn from him, both in game matters and off-field matters. Preparation for games, diet, nutrition," Lawrence said. Phil himself is excited too. He recently announced the end of his playing career officially and shared his plans. "I definitely want to move into management in the next few years. I've played under some amazing coaches, had some incredible experiences. I've also trained to be an athletic director. I don't think I want to become a manager too soon. Everything has to come in stages. But I'd definitely like to work at the club as an assistant or coach. I think I have a lot to offer." After all he's been through, Phil seems to have earned a second try at football. It's really looking forward to seeing him succeed now. Phil Jones' story is a prime example of how great expectations can collide with harsh reality. As a young and talented player, Jones was held in high regard by Sir Alex Ferguson himself, who saw him as the future of Manchester United. But unfortunately, injuries ruined his career, denying him the chance to fulfill his full potential. Despite many setbacks and constant ridicule, Jones didn't give up. He kept fighting, strived to get back on the field, and even when his professional career came to an end, Phil found the strength to start a new phase. His story is one of resilience and perseverance, an example that even in the most difficult circumstances, you can find a new purpose and keep going. Subscribe to our channel, put likes and leave your comments on the topic. Your opinion is important to us.